Salutations, my brothers and sisters in Christ. In this video, we will go over what we should do with our lives according to the Bible. The first thing that we should do with our lives is seek purpose in God and not worldly pursuits, as seen in Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13.
Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind.
Secondly, we should enjoy our lives as a gift from God. God encourages us to find the joy in all the simple blessings of life, as seen in Ecclesiastes 8 verse 15.
So I commend the enjoyment of life, because there's nothing better for a person under the sun than to eat and drink and be glad. Then joy will accompany them in their toil all the days of the life God has given them under the sun.
Thirdly, God teaches us that there's a time for everything, and recognizing that life has its seasons can help us live with patience and trust in God's perfect and divine timing, as seen in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1.
There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens.
Fourthly, God teaches us to work diligently and be content with our lives. He wants us to work wholeheartedly while we have the opportunity to, making the most of our time on this earth before we go meet Him in heaven, as seen in Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10.
Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you're going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom.
Fifthly, God teaches us to appreciate the balance of life. Without darkness, there cannot be light. Without bad times, there cannot be happiness. This is a part of God's perfect plan to shape us in His image, and this can be seen in Ecclesiastes 7 verse 14.
When times are good, be happy. But when times are bad, consider this: God has made the one as well as the other. Therefore, no one can discover anything about their future.
The sixth way in which we should live our life is to avoid chasing after fleeting and meaningless pleasures. For example, doom scrolling on TikTok, going to the casino, wasting time lusting, instead of enjoying the beauty of every day. It reminds us that earthly pursuits and possessions are temporary. Only God provides lasting fulfillment. This can be seen in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 2.
Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless.
The seventh way in which we should live our lives is to seek wisdom and live with it every day. This allows us to live a well-lived life and honor God. Through wisdom, we can share the gospel and save those around us, as well as enjoy the life that God has put us on this earth to experience. Without wisdom, we are mindless and we are running around not knowing what we should do with our lives. This can be seen in Ecclesiastes 7 verses 11 to 12.
Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it.
The eighth thing we should do in our life is to remember God from as young as we can. By seeking God early in life, we can make the most of every day before the years add up and every day feels repetitive and the same because we become old. This can be seen in Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1.
Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come, and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them.
The ninth way we should live our lives is to be humble and trust God. By accepting the mystery of God's ways, it allows us to trust Him fully. We do not know how we got here. Our DNA is so intricate, and it was made perfectly in His creation. He knows every follicle of hair on our head, every word we're going to say, every action we're going to take. We should not try to comprehend this. but we should trust in Him fully. He chose us to live on this earth, and He made us perfectly in His image, as seen in Ecclesiastes 11 verse 5.
As you do not know the path of the wind or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well.